بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبي إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, dear viewers at home, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Imam Hussein Charities live show exclusively on Imam Hussein TV. Today we are talking Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam, the legacy of giving. We know Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam is known for a number of different things in his life. We will talk about that very, very soon, because on this Saturday night, a lot of you are expecting to be preparing to go to Ziyarat Arba'in or watching those who are preparing to go to Ziyarat Arba'in. However, if you check your socials, the ziyarah has definitely begun from the southern part of Iraq. People are walking towards the shrine of Abi Abdullah Al Hussain alayhi salam. So we will get into those details very, very soon, because I'd love to welcome the co-host, my good friend who I haven't seen for a very long time, and I'd love to have some discussions with you regarding your time over the last couple of weeks. Sayyid Muhsin Shah. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyid.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Thank you for having me, Mr. Ali Fadho, and salam to all the viewers. And also, inshallah, I pray that their hajat and also the azah is accepted over these holy months of Muharram and Safar.
Inshallah. Sayyid, we're going to continue some very, very interesting discussions soon. However, I wanted to mention something regarding Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam. Now, what we know and what is often talked about in regards to the life of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam is often what his stance was in Karbala. Now, we understand that he was ill, he was too sick to be able to fight in the way of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. And for a very good reason, because the Imamah needed to continue. If Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam was to be killed in Karbala on the 10th day of Muharram, then Imamah would have stopped. And so he needed to be kept alive, preserved. Not only did Imam Hussein alayhi salam keep him alive, but Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam protected him in Kufa and in Sham. When they tried to attack Imam Al Sajjad and say, what, did we not kill Ali, the son of Hussein? They said, yes, but there is another Ali, son of Hussein. And this is where they said, okay, kill him. And Sayyidah Zainab said, you kill him, you have to kill me. And dare you touch the daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen and the daughter of Rasulullah. So Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam is known to be this frail, sick member of Imam Al Hussein's camp who wasn't able to fight. However, he lived for 34 years, brothers and sisters, after Karbala. And if it wasn't for Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam, Imam Al Hussein's message would have died. And I say that with full confidence. Why? Because Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, he stood up. He said, I'm here to resurrect the teachings of my grandfather. I'm here to resurrect the teachings of my grandfather. He needed to shake society. Something shocking needed to happen for society to wake up and say, what are we doing? 60 years after the Prophet came and gave us this brilliant religion, we're killing the grandson of the Prophet. So he needed to shock the system and tell everyone, no, we're here to put an end to this. Who actually implemented this change? It was Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam. He had 34 years in which he could spread the teachings of Imam Al Hussain. How did he do that? 2 or 3 different ways, and that's the legacy of Imam Al Sajjad. Number 1, Treaty of Rights.
Yes,
as we know. Risalat al-Huquq. He told individuals how to speak to each other. Society, how do we speak to each other? How do we create a coherent society in which each brother, each sister, child, father, parent, sister, all of them knew their rights over each other?
Neighbors.
That's 1. Number 2,
the hand, the eyes, the tongue, body parts
everything.
as well.
How do we speak to our Lord?
Ahsant.
In his Sahifa Sajjadiyah.
Sajjadiyah,
All of the supplications of Imam Al Sajjad wanted to remind those at that time and now, let's get back to basics here. Let's get back to basics and speak to our Lord in a way that it will benefit us. And therefore, he left 2 legacies. However, he left 1 more, which he is known to be the generous of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. There are many different stories which I will share, inshallah, very, very soon. However, in order to be inspired by Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam, what we are fundraising for, asking for your donations, contributing to, are the following. Sayyid Muhsin, please take it away.
Every Arba'in, we have our water campaign where we'll be providing water for the Zawar, walking down the Shara Ya Hussein, I think it's called, from Najaf to Karbala. And for you brothers and sisters, all it takes is £10. Now £10 is nothing. I'm sure everyone can sacrifice £10 in order to provide water, which was not given to Abu Abdullah al-Hussain on the plains of Karbala, which was restricted to the camp of Imam Hussein. Those who are walking to Imam Hussein alayhi salam in the August heat in Najaf and Karbala, which is extremely hot, over 40 degrees Celsius. Inshallah, brothers and sisters, you could be part of the Arba'in Mishaya by providing water to those who are walking, and that's only £10. Furthermore, we're giving out food as well on the Mishaya and all the different majalis that are happening all over Karbala for £50, I believe it is. And you guys can be part of the majalis and of the commemorations that are happening during the Arba'in period. Also, we have a campaign allowing those who have never ever been to the shrines of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and also to the shrines of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, Abu Fadl Abbas, those orphans or widows or those who are, you know, in poverty, impoverished due to circumstances, who have never had a chance to go see the shrine, the dome. Mr. Ali Father, you've seen the dome many, many times, you being from Karbala yourself. How, I mean, does it ever get old?
The
Looking
dome?
at the dome.
No, hell no. No.
When you walk in on a night dark sky and there's that golden dome shining with a flag on top that says Ya Hussein or Ya Abu Father. It never ever gets old, and some people have never seen it. So we're giving the chance, brothers and sisters, for those who have never seen the shrine of Abu Fadl Abbas or for Abu Abdullah al-Hussain for £50, I think it is, for you to help them, those in Iraq, those who cannot go, to allow them to have this opportunity to visit and do the ziyarah, this Arba'in. And finally, for your marhum, for those who, you know, are no longer with us, for your loved ones and beloved, you can sponsor someone to walk.
Even if you're not able to walk yourself.
Indeed, yes. If you're not allowed, if you cannot be in the holy lands of Najaf and Karbala this year, you can pass on, forward your names of your loved ones and your marhum and so forth, and someone will walk on their behalf for £72.
Inshallah.
All information is available on the website, www.imamhussaincharity.com. Do we have the QR code yet? Is it there?
No.
Oh, wrong one. There.
Yeah. Fantastic.
We have the QR code right there. Scan it. It'll take you straight to the website where you can donate.
On that note, brothers and sisters, as I mentioned before, it is the start of the ziyarah of Arba'in. So the ziyarah journey for a lot of brothers and sisters who will be embarking on this amazing journey from shrine to shrine. The shrine of Imam Ali alayhi salam, walking 3, 4, 5, 6 days, depending on how fast you walk, to the shrine of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, joining the millions of zuwar, pledging their allegiance to Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. However, what we've seen on the walk is a lot of acts of charity. So I'm calling on the brothers and sisters. We are live. Dear brothers and sisters, we're live. There's a number to call if you want to come and join us on this call. And I'm calling out to you now to come online and share your charitable acts in Arba'in. What do I mean? I mean, for example, what we see is there are mawakib which are fully free, right? They're giving free food, accommodation. There are also shops, tuck shops, which you pay certain money and you buy whatever. So what people do sometimes, and I've seen my friends do it, is they go and buy, for example, 3 boxes of bananas. Right? 3 boxes of bananas, and they come out and then they give it up. Right? And then they go, that is an act of charity. And you see a lot of people come towards you.
We have bets when we're there on how quick
you can get rid of the bananas.
And honestly, if I'm 3 boxes, probably takes about a minute and a half.
A minute and a half, mashallah.
Maybe less.
Mashallah.
A box of oranges, I took a crate. 30 seconds.
Which goes to show that there are thousands, hundreds of people still in need. I mean, it's just bananas. Yes, you can find that in mawakibs, but people are still in need, and there are charitable acts to be done in the ziyarah of Arba'in. So I'm calling out to you now. You can contribute, no problem at all. But if you want to come online, come on live on the air. Tell us a story about how you've done a charitable act in ziyarah of Arba'in. We'd love to hear from you.
What's the number to call?
The number
0203-515-0199 to call into the studio. If you want to donate, 0203-515-1122. Our volunteers are there ready to help you to give your donation.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, cool. Sayyid Mohsin, we're going to go on a very, very small break. After that, I'm going to have a guest on.
Inshallah.
And then the both of you can share your experiences of what happened 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
I hope the people are ready for it.
Inshallah. That's Sayyid Mohsin. So we're going to see you in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere because we have some exciting discussions up next.
In the tragic month of Muharram, one of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Hussainiyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those in need. Countless Hussainiyat, Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Hussainis and the Zainabis of today.
Welcome back, dear visitors, Zawar. I've got Zawar in my head. Welcome back, dear viewers of Imam Hussein Charity. If you're still joining us, or if you're still with us, fantastic. So you know that we had Sayyid Mohsin Shah on the show. Now I want to welcome Minhal, Haj Minhal, Brother Minhal, Sheikh Minhal, Haj Minhal.
Ustad.
Pre-Dr. Minhal.
I'm so sorry. That's the only one that
Pre-Doctor.
that missed my. That was pre-Doctor, inshallah, Dr. Minhal al-Khafaji. Dr. Minhal, شلونك?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Mullah?
I'm not bad, alhamdulillah.
I'd like to first of all send my condolences to all the dear viewers on the martyrdom of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, and inshallah we can use this show to fundraise as much as possible for the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, because we saw, Mullah, sorry, I'm just going to take 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
We saw that during COVID we had a very, very sharp decrease in numbers of the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. Now for us, 12 million, 14 million is a very small number. For other people, it's a huge number.
Oh, wow.
But the statistics were between 12 and 14 million. Straight after COVID, we hit 22 million Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. That's Zuwar coming from outside of Iraq.
Wow.
So this year, with everything fully open now, we're expecting, I'm hoping, Sayyid Mohsin and Mullah, And everyone who's watching, I'm hoping we reach 30 million Zawar of Imam Hussein alayhi
Fantastic.
salam.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And we say in Iraqi, مو بعيدة. So
مو بعيدة.
it's not far off. It's not a far-fetched thought that 30 million visitors will visit Imam Al Hussein's immaculate shrine. Now, Sayyid Muhsin, Minhal, you both were in Karbala during the first 10 nights of Ashura.
Alhamdulillah.
Right? So I want to go to you, Minhal, first and foremost. I know that obviously you weren't doing Imam Hussein charity stuff, but you were doing Imam Hussein TV stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Tell us a bit about your experience there.
Yani wallah, alhamdulillah, the channel's now moved into a new building.
Yeah.
It was a change, it was different.
Yeah.
The new technology, because we got used to in the channel in the old Karbala office. We were used to working with the old stuff, very basic stuff. So now, you walk into the control room and instead of like a small screen or a small control thing, they've got like this huge thing right now.
Fantastic.
It's literally a suite.
Yeah.
Studios are soundproof.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, in terms of ziyarah, during the day, of course, it's very hot. The sun is hitting you.
Yes. I was going to say, your outside experience,
Yeah.
what was that like?
Yeah, so I was coming to that. During the day, it's really hot. The sun is hitting you. But myself, Abu Talib, Sayyid Muhsin, we still made our way to do khidmah in the mawakib of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, because, there's like 1 ton or 1.5 tons of melon or watermelon or banana that's coming in, and you have to peel it and you have to get the juice ready for the zuwar. And then you've got, literally, you go back before Maghrib, you shower, you come out after Maghrib, and it's literally like Arba'een.
So was there a genuine need for the Tabarruk
100%, 100%, because what myself and Abu Talib were discussing was you find that the poorest people are the ones that actually come to the ziyarah of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam during these times. This is the golden opportunity for them to not think about their meal at night. Not think about, am I going to eat tonight? Not thinking about, am I going to drink clean water tonight? Because they know it's all available there.
Fantastic.
So for us, like, when we were giving out watermelon juice, for example, you had so many people queuing up, and then some people try, jump the line, and then we'd have to, be like, please go to the back of the line. But it's just people were fearful that it would run out. And so... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what about the water situation? Because I know sometimes when we go to Iraq, when we go to Karbala, you feel like there is a limitless supply of water. And there's water everywhere. But actually, behind the scenes, it's a huge struggle to get the water. So tell us about kind of the heat and the water and the zuwar who are in need. There's a massive link between them.
So I actually had the pleasure with of course, Sayyid Murtada, who we all know. I don't know if you were there, Sayyid Muhsin, but we had the pleasure in Arba'een a couple years back to unload the big trucks.
I was.
You were there, right? They were like
like
huge trucks. They're really long, right? And when you compare them to those smaller trucks, it's just like we were carrying and distributing the water, and we had discussions happening, which was take these trucks, these small trucks, to this side of, but then someone would say, what about that side of the shrine of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam? What about that side of the shrine of Abu al-Fadl? Because the shrines, you've got Shara Sidra, Bab al-Qibla, Bab Baghdad, 10 entrances per shrine, So it's just like, how do we distribute this? And we found that there was a shortage. There was a shortage of water. Okay. Even though, you've got some people who they do their own thing, but it's for us, for our conscience, we don't know who's bringing water.
So sorry to cut you there, but Sayyid, do you want to remind the viewers of the packages when it comes to water? Because that is a fantastic point.
Well,
thank you.
Like every year we do is we give the water campaign for those who are on the Mashaya, those who are going to be walking in extremely hot conditions this year. And it's just £10, and we'll be able to provide them with water, clean, sterile, mineral water, spring water, which they'll be drinking. Inshallah, the way it works is that we bring in packs and we give them to the different muwakibs out there, and they're the ones that will distribute to all those that are walking. You guys can get involved. Just pick up the phone 0203 515 1122 or visit www.imamhussaincharity.com. And how you can help me? You can scan the QR code, which is
It's all the way near you, right there.
That one. There you go.
Right there.
The QR code right there, and that'll take you straight to the website where you guys can donate to this fabulous water campaign.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you must have seen, you've been on the walk, Arba'in, right? So, have you seen any charitable acts on the walk itself?
So, there's just one thing that I just wanted to...
Oh, yeah.
That when we went on Arba'in and the whole water thing happened, and it was at night, and it was like, I think, 27, 26 degrees. You're talking double that right now in Iraq. 52. Wow. People are going to be walking in 52-degree heat. The people they see the live streams.
Guys,
they see the people
brothers
walking.
and sisters, we're not talking 52 degree Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
we're talking 52 degrees Celsius,
which is about 124 Fahrenheit.
Insane temperatures.
Yeah. So people
on that
need
note,
water.
I need to make a very important reminder announcement. No.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Charitable acts on the Arba'in walk. People on the Arba'in walk will beg you to stay in the house. Now, they don't know if you're rich or you're poor. What they want is they want the ajr and the thawab.
Right.
So we are begging the viewers
Yeah.
to allow these poor people, whether they're poor or whether we're mainly focusing on the poor people, to bring them into their house, to bring them into their house of giving, to give towards the zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. And look, Mullah, it's been, I think, 4 years since I went on Arba'in, so I need to think about that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
University.
Yeah. Well, look, on that note, for the dear viewers at home, are you going to be going this year?
No,
unfortunately.
Inshallah next year.
Inshallah. On that note, because dear brothers and sisters, and I want to put this on the wide as well so that both Minhal and Muhsin can chip in. And I'm sure that for the dear viewers at home who don't have the chance to go to Arba'in, especially knowing or have tasted the ziyarah before, knowing what the experience is like, and not being able to go the year after, seeing your friends and family and your relatives all going, it is heartbreaking. Genuinely, it's heartbreaking. I've said this before. I've experienced that before, and I think it was pre-COVID as well. So there wasn't any COVID barriers. So I couldn't go, but literally all of my friends were going. There was a whole group, and I was the only one that wasn't there. And I'd see picture after picture after snap after Insta post.
How do you think I felt for the past 4 years?
That's why I'm saying, for the dear viewers at home, if you can't make Arba'in this year, but you really want to have the attention to go, there is a special campaign for you. Dear viewers at home, right here, right now, you're able to donate just £50, and you will have a ziyarah of Arba'in done on your behalf. On your behalf. It could be you, it could be a loved one, it could be a family member, it could be a marhoom. Whoever it is, you can just spend only £50 and you'll get that ziyarah in your name. That's point number one. Number two, on the point of heat, our dear friend, we all know, I'm not sure to mention his name, but we all know him. Actually,
you want to write it down?
Said Hamid.
Yeah.
Said Hamid. So our friend, and usually we don't do this, but this man has dedicated his life to serve. There is no one that this man has met that we don't feel immediately touched by, right? We feel a warmth, because all this man ever wants to do is to serve the zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, and 100%. Is to serve Imam Al Hussain. Now, something quite tragic happened just about a week ago, I think it is, or maybe a couple of days ago. He suffered from, I'm not sure of the details, but something to do with the heat. So it was heat stroke, I think it was, right? And it affected his eyesight really badly, to the extent that he had to be flown back to London to perform surgery. So I ask you, the dear viewers, you must have ill, sick people in your family, in your relatives. We have a dear friend of ours, a dear friend of the channel, Sayyid Hamid, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the name of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam, who was known to be the Alil of Karbala, the sick of Karbala, in the name of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, we raise our hands, I guess, and we also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant the quick recovery of all of your loved ones, and specifically Sayyid Hamid. And I'm not shy to mention this on air. However, if you dear brothers want to send in names that we want to read out, please do. We have the WhatsApp if you want to call in as well, no problem at all. But again, in the name of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, for all of your sick and ill relatives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them a quick and swift recovery.
Mullah, can I just mention one thing? Everything that, for example, when it comes to technology, or when it comes to cooking for Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, all the equipment that is used is designed to be able to withstand heat.
Yeah.
Right? It's all designed to be able to withstand heat.
Yeah.
But in Iraq, when it gets so hot and some other factors play in, you see that, for example, when was this? 2019. Me and Sayyid Muhsin were in the Imam Hussein TV Mawkib, poll number 1114. The Mawkib right next to us. Okay, so if you come out the Mawkib on your left, right next to us, that day had someone die because of the electricity.
Subhanallah.
It was something to do with the heat and something with the electric wire melting and electrocuted him and he died. Right? Just trying to bring the attention to the viewers, not to scare them or anything, but just it's that hot in the sense that equipment that's designed to withstand heat is just being damaged. Now, the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam need water, and they need the coldest of water.
I also want to bring your attention, I just noticed it on the screen now, the £72, which is the sponsored walk. Said, could you just tell us a bit more about the sponsored walk?
So
I can help you if you need as well, just in case.
Please, sponsored walk. I do believe that we are allowing people to walk from Najaf to Karbala. And for some of them it may be their first time, for others no, and they can walk on behalf of some of the viewers if they want to give their names and so forth, part of their marhum and their loved ones. But we're giving opportunity for those who have never been to Karbala, never seen the golden domes
within Iraq.
Yes, these are people within Iraq who have never been to Karbala or to Najaf and so forth, giving them the opportunity to be part of the Arba'in. For most of them, it will be their first time doing Arba'in.
And there's a question that's posed. People are walking from Basra, Najaf, Baghdad. So why don't these people who are less privileged just walk with them? That is a question that is posed. And do you have a kind of a response to that? I mean, it's not that easy, is it?
It's not as easy as just getting up and walking. Some of these people have to earn whatever they can for their families. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave my job in order for 3 weeks. If they're from the southern parts, I'm gonna have to leave my job for 3 weeks in order to go do ziyarah. And I think it's 3 weeks to get there and 3 weeks back by foot. So that's 6 weeks. You're talking almost a month and a half, and then who's going to be able to? It's their livelihood. Who's going to be able to provide for the family and so forth?
Absolutely.
Inshallah, you viewers can get involved. Go www.imamhussaincharity.com. The QR code is over there. And maybe you can give that. You can help provide that monthly salary or so forth, so that one person can have the time to go and do ziyarah.
Sayyid, I wanted to talk about. I guess in Muharram there was. You were there specifically for the charity. Tell us about some of the activities that you were doing in Muharram.
So in Muharram, I was fortunate enough, along with doing ziyarah and so forth, helping out Imam Hussein TV, I managed to go to the Mawkib where they were serving and providing water, fresh juice as well to the Zuwar. Also, those people who had donated, some of the money went towards the different Mawakib, providing food for the majalis, so that people who are attending the majalis could sit and eat after the eulogies and so forth. Also, money was distributed to help organize majalis, whether it was to put up a tent, speakers, lights, to pay for the speaker, the khatib, or for the mullah, the radu to recite and so forth, so that people, wherever they were in the world, could be part of the majalis in Karbala, right next to the shrines of Imam Hussein.
Right. And you saw the ingredients being brought into the Mawkib and stuff like that. Do you see there's a bit of a shortage, and that's why the Tabarruk campaign is...
There's always a shortage.
There's always
a shortage.
Really?
Because for me, for example, in Muharram, although I wasn't doing any work for Imam Hussein charity, so for Imam Hussein TV, I was still with the boys working in the Mawkib. And, when I'd speak to the Shabab who are in the Mawkib, how much do you think, let's say, a ton of watermelon costs? Bringing it from the wholesaler.
A couple of £100, thousands.
It's about £150.
£150 for a ton.
For a ton, that creates probably like 4 of those jdura.
Okay.
Four of it fills it to the
Pots.
top.
Pots,
Yeah,
yeah.
4 of those pots.
4 pots.
My Iraqi side came out.
Yeah.
4 of those pots fills it to the top, and you're serving and it's not finishing. And you're serving, it's not finishing. But then it comes to a point where it's done. Because the Zuwar, it was something that me and you always talked about during the Arba'een. They call it the Black River.
Yeah.
The Black River of people.
Yeah.
And that river never stops. You know when you go to a waterfall and you're like, when is this water going to stop? And it doesn't stop.
It never
That's
ends.
just how it is in Arba'een.
From Karbala to Najaf, it's just one long black stream of people.
Yeah.
Because everyone's wearing black clothes, and there's so many of them. And I, you know what? It's a miracle that these people are provided with water, food, places to sleep, medicine. You know, you name it, it's there on the Mashaya.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we're just going to have to pause there just to give a quick reminder to the dear viewers at home. If you've been inspired by Dr. Minhal, Sayyid Muhsin, myself, what you've seen on the screen, what you've heard, it is very, very simple for you to get involved. The code, the QR code on your screen, you scan it, it takes you to a website. The website will give you different campaigns that you can donate to. Whichever one resonates with you, be it, for example, the £10 goes towards the water, £50 goes towards the tabarruk and the food, £72 goes towards a sponsored walk, or the £50 again that goes towards the first time ziyarah for an orphan or an underprivileged person within Iraq. We're going to go to a very, very small break. Before we do, I'd love to thank Dr. Minhal.
Can I just say one thing?
For his time.
That £10 right there gives you just over 600 cups of water.
Okay.
Assume each zayar takes 2 cups. 300 people,
water.
you've quenched their thirst.
Wow.
300 people.
Mashallah.
Because one box costs 1,450 Iraqi dinar,
Yeah.
and it's got 60 cups in it.
Okay.
By the way, quickly, because you're a doctor,
Pre-doctor.
how important is it to be hydrated, especially in the summertime? I've heard you could lose up to 6 liters of water of just sweating in a day.
You can lose that. I don't know. I can tell you how it affects your teeth because it really massively badly affects your teeth if you're dehydrated.
Really?
And it's a known fact, really studied fact, because it decreases your saliva, and your saliva is the one that basically throughout the day protects your teeth.
Wow.
So
Subhanallah.
dehydration really is bad for your teeth.
Right. So before we get into a dentist lesson,
Inshallah soon.
Inshallah
We'll have a show
you
on
can
here
have
for
your
dentistry.
workshops as well. You can always do in the near future when you are, inshallah, a doctor, pre-doctor. In any case, Dr. Minhal, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it. I know that you've taken time out. And just by the way, side note, myself and Minhal over the last couple of days, well, I haven't, but he has travelled literally the whole of England, all in the service of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. So, Jazakallah khair, Dr. Minhal. Thank you so much for your time. And inshallah, we'll see you soon. But for the dear viewers at home, don't go anywhere, because in the next part of this show, we're going to be inviting another guest with Sayyid Muhsin. So please don't go anywhere. Inshallah, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Water well project. IHC वारनि जी वॾी महिरबानी जिन असांखे मिठे पाणी जी टंकी हणाए ॾेई विया आहिनि इमाम हुसैन चैरिटी वारनि जी वॾी महिरबानी जिन असांजे नवाब जे ॻोठ में मिठे पाणी जो टंकी हणी ॾेई विया आहिनि असांखे हिते पाणी जी वॾी तकलीफ़ हुई हिननि असांजी मिठो पाणी जो मुहैया करे असांजो तकलीफ़ ख़तमु करे विया शुक्रिया IHC
This Arba'in, Imam Hussein Charity wants you to help us reach our target of 1 million water cups distributed to those walking to the Master of Martyrs, Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. As millions of travellers embark on their journey of passion, we aim to provide and hydrate them just as the flag bearer Abul Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam, whose hope was to supply water to the thirsty camp of Imam Al Hussain on the day of Ashura. For only £10 or $12 we can cover the cost of 600 water cups. Donate towards our campaign and quench the thirst of the pilgrims of Abu Abdullah Al Hussain and have your share of rewards in this life and the hereafter. To donate, simply visit our website on www.imamhussaincharity.com/al-Atash. This Arba'in be a part of the largest peaceful gathering, and together we can mark our service towards the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam.
On yours and take me by my hand, I'll never
Welcome back, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV. You are watching Imam Hussein Charity's live appeal, and that appeal is for you, dear brothers and sisters, to join in the commemoration, join in the contributions to the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam. We have covered the Zuwar in every single angle that you can think of. Water, we've got that covered. First time ziyarah, we've got that covered. If you can't even go to ziyarah, we've also got that covered, because the handles and the projects that we have will be able to provide you with an opportunity to give back to those that really need it. Those who are in Iraq, those who are going towards the Zuwar, those who are going towards the shrine of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salam, who are in desperate need of your help. And that's why today you're able to contribute. We'll tell you about those specific projects. However, to make it easier for you, all you need to do is scan the QR code on this side or that side, doesn't matter. Scan the QR code, it'll take you to a website. That website will give you the specific donations that you can make. Whichever one resonates with you, please do contribute as much as you can, because in this part of the show we're going to be focusing more on the life of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam. I mentioned earlier in the show that this man has an absolutely amazing legacy that he left behind, and so here to help highlight some of the life, some of the aspects of the life of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam is Al-Hajj Ibrahim Al-Ansari. Assalamu alaikum, Hajj Ibrahim. How are you? Hope all is well.
Alhamdulillah, all well. Jazakallah khair.
Once
How are you
again,
keeping?
I see you, which is fantastic. I love serving with you, Hajj Ibrahim. It's an amazing experience.
It's a mutual feeling. It's a mutual feeling.
And thank you so much for coming on the
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for having me.
Sayyid, once again, I also welcome Sayyid back onto the show. Sayyid, assalamu alaikum. Hajj Ibrahim, I want to get straight into, I guess, the discussion around Imam Al Sajjad. I think one of the most important things, and I mentioned earlier, is that Imam Al Sajjad is not only known for example, Sahif Al Sajjadiyya, Wasail Al Huquq. He's also known for his charity and helping the less fortunate in his community. Can you tell us just a bit about how Imam Al Sajjad demonstrated this?
Of course, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala Muhammadin wa ala ali bayti tayyibin al-tahirin. First and foremost, our condolences to the Imam of our time, our scholars, the Islamic Ummah on the martyrdom of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi afdal salati wa salam. It's interesting actually that you mentioned the Risalat al-Huquq first, before you went on to talk about charity. Because a lot of people, when they talk about Risalat al-Huquq, for example, they think that Risalat al-Huquq, the Treaty of Rights, is only about how we deal with each other. So for example, what is the right of the father over the son? And what is the right of the son over the father? And what is the neighbor, etc. But actually, there is actually a section on sadaqah in Risalat al-Huquq.
Okay.
There is a section on sadaqah. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to read it from my phone, because I actually just got it out just before I came on, where he says, وَحَقُّ الصَّدَقَةِ The sadaqah also has a right. وَحَقُّ الصَّدَقَةِ And the right of the sadaqah. أَن تَعْلَمْ أَنَّهَا ذُخْرُكَ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ
Okay.
It is for you to know that it is your treasure by your Lord. أنها ذخرك عند ربك عز وجل ووديعتك التي لا تحتاج إلى الإشهاد عليها. And it is that which you leave behind that requires no attestation for it. You see, when you leave, for example, money, or when you leave something on the Day of Judgment, you're going to be asked about that money. You're going to be held accountable for the wealth that you have left behind. Imam Al Sajjad says, first of all, it's a treasure that you leave by your Lord. And secondly, it is that which you will meet on the Day of Judgment, and you will need no one to testify to it at all, or testify to what you did with it. So this in itself is something very important. فإذا علمت ذلك كنت بما استودعته سرا أوثق بما استودعته علانية. And if this is something that you understand, this is something that is greater for you if you were to do it in secret than if you were to do it in alaniya, so out in the public. Of course, there's going to be that discussion of what about doing it in public, etc. Imam Al Sajjad was known to do it in secret anyway. Most of his time during his lifetime was spent in secret to begin with. He did not want to attract many eyes towards him. However, that does not mean that people then didn't end up realizing that the person who was giving out the sadaqah was Imam Sajjad alayhi wasalam. Whether it was during his lifetime or after. He was known for example, going out on the night, and he would carry that rucksack with him. The rucksack, by the way, it had denanir, so it had money within it. It had food. It had pieces of clothing. And it got to a point where people start realizing that, do you know what? It is at this time that this man would usually come. So they would stand by the door and waiting for him. He would grab a piece of clothing and cover his face so that no one would be able to know that it is the Imam. In fact, an interesting story. His cousin was one of the people who were poor. He's a Alawi, but he was poor. Imam Al Sajjad used to go to him every night. That Alawi used to be in a state where he used to go around. Now you imagine, for example, you have a wealthy cousin, or you know your cousin helps everyone, and you're like, do you know, he's not even taking care of his own family members. That's what he used to say. This guy, Imam Zain al-Abidin, he doesn't even take care of me. I'm his cousin. I'm his family member. He takes care of everyone, but he's forgotten me. After Imam Al Sajjad passed away, and Imam al-Baqir on purpose for 3 days did not go out to give charity for people to realize that it was Imam Al Sajjad that was giving them that charity. He realized, and he used to go by his grave and cry and weep every single day, just asking for forgiveness from Imam Sajjad alayhi afdal salati wa salam. And the stories are many, but I realize I've been speaking for a long time now.
I was going to say just a quick reminder to the dear viewers at home that if you've been inspired, I have personally by the story, and actually I didn't know that Imam Al Sajjad had a specific right for charity itself, which is an amazing act. Just to remind you of the dear viewers once again that there is a QR code on your screen. Say, do you want to remind them of the different projects?
So we can start off with the water campaign, which is our flagship campaign we do every Arba'in. £10 will provide water to the Zawar, especially during this time in Arba'in, which is extremely hot in Karbala. £50 is for Tabarruk, where we'll be able to give rice and meat and vegetables and so forth. It will be cooked and provided for the Zawar all over Najaf in Karbala. Furthermore, another £50 will give an orphan their first time chance to go visit the shrines of Abu Abdullah Al Hussain and Abu Fadl Al Abbas, inshallah. And £72, a sponsored walk for your loved ones, your marhum. For those of you who cannot be part of the Mashayikh this year, £72 for someone to walk on your behalf. You can just give the names of your marhum, your loved ones, and inshallah they'll be walking on your behalf. All the information is available on the website www.imamhussaincharity.com, or you can call in 0203 515 1122, and one of our volunteers will be more than happy to help you through your donation.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to go back to Hajj Ibrahim, specifically again, Imam Al Sajjad's life. What were the events or experiences that he had that inspired him to charity? I mean, of course, all of the Imams are charitable. We hear stories of Imam Jawad alayhi salam being the generous of, or Imam Hassan Karim Ahl Bayt. Anyway, so in any sense, what were the events that really made him this charitable person? And how can we, in this day, actually know how, we'll leave that to it. But what were the events that Imam Sajjad went through?
So, of course, being charitable within itself is something that is installed within the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu wassalam.
Okay.
Anything that is that increases in the status of a human being, anything that perfects a human being is installed within them, for they are the most perfect of their time. So obviously these are things that were taught by our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And you find the stories of Amir al-Mu'mineen Fatima al-Zahra, Imam Hassan al Hussain, fasting for 3 days. For what sake? For the sake of charity. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. Imam Zain al-Abidin was known to love grapes.
Okay.
So he was fasting one day, and one of the people in the house would bring him some grapes. As they brought the grapes, a person would knock on the door. What did Imam Zain al-Abidin say? Give the grapes to this poor man. The second day he is fasting. What does he want to have for iftar? Grapes. Person knocks on the door. Give him the grapes. The third day, he is also fasting. And then he is also going to have grapes. And a man knocks on the door. A poor man knocks on the door. He says, give these grapes to the poor man. So he, just like his grandfather Amir al-Mu'mineen and his father Imam Al Hussain and his grandmother Fatima al-Zahra, his uncle Imam Al Hussain, was fasting for 3 days out of what? Charity. So this is from one aspect. It is something that you find within the family. وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. This is from one aspect. From another aspect, but I don't want to go into this side because this is more of an oratory type of thing. It's not necessarily the reason. The reason is this. However, seeing the effects of thirst that it had on the family of Imam Al Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, of course water was an important thing for people in general. And actually, I just want to do one thing, if you both allow me to.
Of course.
Since we are talking about water, since we are talking about the time of Arba'in, we're talking about the Masir of the Sabaya, I saw that we have a £10 package for water. So inshallah, just to set the example of following the footsteps of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam, I would like to make a donation for
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
From one aspect is to show that it is for every person to what you can afford. You don't have to go for the higher packages. What you can do, that in itself is important. And that's what Imam Zain al-Abidin used to do. So he used to do, another thing that he used to do, for example, he was known to wear good clothing, by the way, good garments.
Okay.
You see with the Imams, you find every Imam during their time to what was more appropriate. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen salamullahi alayh used to wear the rough garment and gives his servant the pure, nice garment. Imam Zain al-Abidin was known to wear the best garments of the time. Do you know what he used to do? When the time of winter finishes, he would take that garment off and he would give it in charity, or he would sell it and give its worth in charity. And in summer, he used to have 2 garments and he used to do the same with it. Do you know what he used to say? He used to say, I am shy to pray to my Lord with a garment which its worth I could have given to sadaqah for other people.
Absolutely.
So this,
amazing.
Another few examples.
One last example, I think, especially when it comes to Ziyarat Arba'in. How can we, in this day and age, from the life of Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam, bring it to now, the benefits of serving the Zuwar of Imam Al Hussain al-Arba'in, even if you are at home? How?
Imam Zain al-Abidin is an example, perfect example. Do you know what? Sometimes we forget that actually, because one thing that actually makes me quite angry and upset, I'll be very honest with you, is every time during Arba'in, you find these waves of people. Instead of spending all that money on food, go and give it in charity. Instead of doing these mawakib, go and do it for this stuff. And you'll find, by the way, get ready, the reels are coming out on Instagram very soon of these people talking like this. It's been happening for years now. Imam Zain al-Abidin was known that during the time the women used to hold the majalis for Imam Al Hussain, he would cook himself.
SubhanAllah.
And he would give it to the attendees of the majalis and to the poor of the area.
SubhanAllah.
So let's take some lessons from that aspect of the life of Imam Zain al-Abidin.
Wallah, time, we would love to have more time with you.
Jazakallah khair.
But any last thoughts, any last comments before we wrap up today?
When we look at the life of the infallibles, the Quran says, وَلَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. You had a great example in all the aspects of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his progeny. So let's take these examples and let's help, just like the Ahlul Bayt alayhi wasallam used to help their community.
Fantastic. Hajj Ibrahim and the dear viewers at home, we thank you so much for your time and for your valuable lessons. I learned so much in that space of 10 minutes, not saying that I didn't learn anything from yourself, Hajj Minhal, but
Pre-Dr. Minhal.
Pre-Dr. Minhal, thank you very much for your time. Hajj Ibrahim. Said, we have a couple of minutes. We want to quickly run through once again
no problem.
The projects.
So £10 for the water campaign, which will be providing water for the Zawar that are going down the Mishaya, inshallah, this Arba'in. £50 will provide food, tabarruk, whether it's rice, meat, vegetables, that will be cooked and handed out for the Zawar also. And I think it's 2 or 3 times a day they hand out food. So inshallah, you will be there providing food for the Zawar. Furthermore, £50 to help an orphan or a widow or someone who is impoverished for their first ever trip to the holy shrines of Abu Fadl Abbas and also Abu Abdullah Al Hussain. And finally, £72 for those of you who cannot be in Najaf or Karbala this year. £72 for someone will walk on your behalf, on the behalf of your loved ones, on the behalf of your marhum. Any names that you give, £72, and inshallah, you will get the ajr and the thawab. Information is available on the website www.imamhussaincharity.com. If not, just scan the QR code over here.
Fantastic.
There.
Brilliant. On that note, once again, I don't need to thank you. You are part of the show, Sayyid Muhsin, but thank you so much for coming on the show once again. Hajj Ibrahim, thank you so much. I want to say one last thing before we bid farewell to you, dear lovely viewers. I've learned personally a lot about Imam Al Sajjad alayhi salam. I don't want to name them, but there is a lot that we can gain from his life and also bring it into our life today. One of the things that really resonated with me is specifically the £50 that goes towards sponsoring a ziyarah for marhumin. I think, when it comes to your marhumin, your dear loved ones, those who wish that they were able to add to their book of deeds, essentially. They wish that they could add to their deeds so that they can be, on the day of judgment, they are put in a better light. You, as a loved one, can help them with literally just £50, which you could do a sponsored ziyarah for your marhumin. If it's not that, you could do a sponsored ziyarah for someone that you may love, or someone could be a family member, to say, you know what, I don't want to give you monetary, or I don't want to give you what's that word again for physical stuff. I don't want to give you. I don't want to give you material gift. I want to give you something spiritual so that you can really, really benefit from. Or it could be for yourself. Essentially, you could be stuck at home, not able to go to ziyarah. You can spend £50 to get someone to do the ziyarah on your behalf. Otherwise, in any case, thank you very much for watching. Once again, Sayyid Muhsin, Hajj Ibrahim, and Dr. Minhal Al-Khawaji, we thank you for your time, and for the dear viewers. Thank you so much for your contributions today, tomorrow, and inshallah for the future. We'll see you very, very soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.